Hi, how you doing? I know it's been a minute. It's been more than a minute. It's been months, okay? Lifed on me, okay? But we're back and I'm filming multiple videos today, so good for me. So what have I been up to? Lots of things. But one thing that I've been up to that I think I've discussed is I wanted to try knitting. I don't know if you can hear that my neighbor is fucking vacuuming right now at like noon on a Friday. It's not even Friday, it's Thursday. But you don't hear the vacuum noise, you just hear the rollers. So I don't even know if it is a vacuum. But if you hear that, just ignore it. Because if I don't film now, I'm not gonna film. So I started my knitting, my knitting journey. And I have made 4 hats because I figured hats were the easiest thing other than scarves, but I wanted to use circular needles and not straight needles because I fucking hate straight needles. They suck. They stick out, they're pokey, they're annoying. So started my knitting journey and I'm using pretty thin yarn. I went to a yarn shop and I got some pretty colors, and so I was like, yay, we like these. And then I also found some sock yarn that I wanted to try because it was so colorful, but I did it wrong. So to preface, we have 2 success stories and 2 fails, and that's where we're at. So let's start with hat number 1. This is the first hat I made. This is a success. I love this yarn. My husband got me this yarn as a present, like, I think over a year ago now. And I wanted to knit a hat with it, and I did in fact knit a hat with it. I need to find a closure that I like, because I don't like that it's not a smooth closure. I was using a pattern. I'll put it up here because I do not remember whose it was. I was using a pattern for it and it worked really well, like really easy. It's a knit to purl to, just like all the way up pattern basically. Then you make like a long tube and then close it. And it does decrease some at the closure, but I want to find one that like knits all the way to the top. So that's like a smooth top. But I also think that might be a little bit more difficult for me. So that's why we're waiting on her. This took me a long time. Knitting is so slow. But I do like it a lot. I think this turned out really well. So from here, I made my next hat. Well, actually, that's not the right order. So I had this hat, success, we love her. Then I wanted to try thinner yarn because the thicker the yarn, the worse it is on my hands. My hands are bad. We've discussed carpal tunnel, tendonitis. It's a whole problem. Thinner yarn works better on my hands. So I was like, let me try some sock yarn because I'm not ready for socks. Do I want to do socks? Yes, there's a specific sock that I want to fucking make and I know it's hard. I'll see if I'll find a picture of it. Made in the Moment did the sock. Like, it's not their pattern, they just made the sock. And I saw it and I was like, I need it. But now I'm just thinking about these socks. Anyway, so I want to, but I didn't want to do a sock yet. So I did a hat and it was a failure. Look at her. Look at her. So here's the thing, I didn't follow pattern for this. I wanted to have a ribbed bottom and then just a normal knit stitch up and then close. And I did too many cast on And then the knit stitch, I dropped and added so many stitches, it was bad. It's bad. And then I didn't know how to do with the closure. So I just kind of decreased some and then just like tied it up. This is why the ends are woven in, because I have more of this yarn. I'm probably going to undo this and actually use it for a sock, probably as a practice sock. Though it may be better for me to get a solid for that. But yeah, so we had that, and then I was like, okay, back to a pattern. So then I went back to the pattern, same one I started with. I made this green one, and it also went well and worked fine. Love her. So I have 2 hats. They're nice. I think, so I'm pretty sure I used bigger needles on this one by accident. I think these were a 4 or something and this was like a 3 or something. I don't remember, but I intended to make the same exact hat, and then somehow, like, you can tell the stitches are bigger on the green one. So I did the exact same pattern, but with just like a size or 2 up on needles on accident. It still turned out fine, but once I realized it, I was like, I like the smaller stitches better. It still works. It's okay. So then we have my latest hat, which was a failure. So here's the tea. I still wanted to make just a knit stitch hat, right? And so I had this idea that I would just make just a knit stitch hat, like with a fold over brim, but no like ribbing. First of all, don't do that. Second of all, no, I didn't find a pattern. No, I did not. And third of all, when I started knitting it, I realized that the yarn I was using just doing the knit stitch was very thin. And I was like, it needs to be thicker to have any sort of like usefulness in keeping me warm, right? And so here's my idea. I make a hat that's double the length that it needs to be, and then I close both ends, like circle close both ends, and then just put one inside the other to make it double layered, right? Don't do that. So basically what happened is I did not have enough yarn. I thought I did. I thought I had enough yarn to make twice the length of a normal hat. I can make 1.5 hat. And I was like, well, let me try it. So you need a brim. You need some sort of brim. This is where we're at. I may take this apart, I may not. This took me a long time and I'm kind of annoyed with it. So what have we learned? Use a pattern is what we've learned. Like with crochet, I can kind of wing it sometimes. I can kind of figure shit out. I'm not there with knitting. No ma'am. No ma'am, not even a little. So no on that. What I want to look into is Passionate Kelsey follows some interesting knit hat patterns. I tried doing her knit hat, by the way, the one that the pattern that she has, but it's too fucking big for my hands. Like the needles are too big. They hurt my hands. It's like a double-stranded knit beanie, and then you use like size 8 needles somewhere in there. I tried doing it hurt my hands. I could not. So I just took that apart. I don't have anything to show for that one, but I did attempt it because it's a good pattern. I would just need to, you know, size that down to like a 4 needle and do it that way, but I don't know the math for that at the moment. But she has done some other hats following some other people's patterns, and she, whenever she uses them, she always like links them in the description. So I was gonna look at that because she did specifically do one pattern that had a clean closure on top where you like knit it all the way up, and I do love that. So that's where I'm going with it. More hats. I think hats are really good practice. I think hats are like granny squares for crochet. Also, it took me so long to figure out how to hold the needles because there's multiple ways to hold the needles, and some of them are fucking crazy, and I will say that, and I will stand on that business. I hold the needles like knives, like this, you know. But some people don't. I tried that. That's crazy. That's kooky. I don't know how y'all do that. What else was I thinking? I was thinking about some other things, but I already forgot. Oh, I did get a set of interchangeable needles. I cannot recommend that enough. That is so nice. The needles where it has like different links of the wire, and then you can just twist on the needles, twist off the needles. Those are so nice. I got a cheap set off of Amazon, and well worth it. I don't think the needles are like amazing. They aren't like smooth glide lace boo needles. But just the ease of, like, for a hat, you would need one size to do the hat, one size to do the closure. And so with these, I don't have to take it off and put it on a different hook. I can just change the wire out with them on the hooks, you know. It's nice. So that helped me a lot. I ended up, I looked at a lot of how to knit videos and how to cast on videos. They're all so confusing. Yes, I did look at Kelsey's, Passionate Kelsey's, because she is known for having really good tutorials. Even her cast on tutorial did confuse me, because what I discovered is if you're doing a long tail cast on, which is what I've been doing for all of these hats, long tail cast on, first of all, I kept having too long of a tail. And then second of all, I kept casting on, not onto the tail. I was casting on into the working yarn, which is not what you're trying to do. And it took me so long to figure that out because no one specified it. Like, I have not seen where someone specifies of like literally during the tutorial, they're like, okay, this, your long tail is what you're casting onto, you know, this tail is what you need to use up, not the working yarn. It's this tail. It took me so long to figure that out. I kept fucking up my cast-ons. It took so long for me to figure that out. That was so irritating. I finally figured it out, so that was nice. And then how to cast on and how to hold needles. Confusing. Confusing. I will say the best one I found was Passionate Kelsey's. That was the easiest to like understand and most straightforward. I also like that she does them, all of her stuff is like the easiest way possible with the least amount of like hand movement, which we know is good for me and my hands. Because I saw a lot of people and a lot of tutorials that were like, and then you bring the yarn over with your other hand or whichever hand it was, and you do it like that. She doesn't do that. It's everything, your working yarn when you're knitting is held in this hand, and you just put it over the other needle with your finger. It's not like a pull the next stitch over. It's way less movement, which I really like. Now, she does some fuck ass shit with purls. When she purls, she does some crazy shit, and she said what it was called in her video, and I don't remember, but she does some fuck ass shit with purls that I do not do, because I don't think it's quicker. I'm trying to do things efficiently. I don't think it's quicker. I think it's annoying. I do normal ass fucking pearls. But I do hold my yarn like she holds it, and then I do cast on like she holds it, because she casts on where it's like you string the yarn between your hand and then you just like kind of an over under thing onto the needle, and so it's not like trying to swing the yarn over the needle, which is so nice. It's so much easier too. It's quicker. So that's what I found so far. I do want to do a sock. I really do. That's like my goal, is to be able to make socks in general. I would also like to make a sweater. Aiden Rhodes Crochet just came out with a knit sweater that's like a half zip and then it has like checkers on the bottom. I'd love to make that, but it's knit and it does scare me. I have some things I want to do. I also want to learn how to tapestry knit, because I like those transitions. They're smoother than crochet transitions, like when you look at it. So I think tapestry knitting would be cool too. But we're not there yet. So that is an update on my knitting journey. Let me know if you have tips and tricks for me. I have no time frame. I've learned that giving myself time frames is not good for me. But I have no time frame. So I'm coming out with this video. I'm also gonna have a video. I got the, what is this thing called? I got this, the granny square card deck. I also have the flower one. So I've been making granny squares out of this, and I'm gonna do a review of the first 10. I'm gonna do them as like shorter videos, because I have thoughts and feelings. Let me tell you, you know I do, but let me tell you, I have some thoughts and feelings. So I'm gonna film that video now, and then I'm also gonna film a video of what I've been doing while I've been gone. And you will already have a hint of what I've been doing if you have been following my shorts. But I'm gonna film a video about that, because it's a new craft. Yay, that's definitely what I needed. But anyway, I'm back. Somewhat. Still no filming schedule. But I am posting shorts regularly, because those are really quick and easy. So if you like shorts, I got you. Anyway, bye.